dot 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 dot. Okay, I'm done being weird. We all know that's a lie.
Today's video is sponsored by Monster Legends. Today we're going to see what happens if we deep fry a bunch of Bic pens. Before jumping into the video, we wanted to tell you about an awesome game, Monster Legends. Monster Legends is free to play on iOS and Android, so those of you who haven't tried it yet should click the link in the description to start downloading it right away. The game lets you collect different monsters that you can breed together to make new types of monsters. There are lots of monsters to collect, and trying to collect them all is a big part of the game. When you have a new baby monster, you can feed it to help it gain battle abilities and eventually become a beast. Every monster has its own unique design, and you get to watch them age and grow as you level them up. I like learning the result of combining two of my monsters to see what new egg they create. Once your monsters are big enough, you can enter them into battles. A fun way to battle is with your friends. By using Facebook Connect, you can easily find which of your friends play the game and challenge them to defeat your monster army. There's already a huge community of people playing this game. It's got over 50 million downloads, so you are sure to find people to play with. You can compete with your friends in several ways, you can battle them one-on-one, or you can race to see who can get the most monsters the fastest. There are tons of PvP modes where you can take your strongest monsters to fight in special dungeons or the adventure map. Download the game today to discover for yourself how cool the world of Monster Legends is. So go ahead and click the link in the description to get playing for free today.
Nate, we have another deep fryer.
We do.
I have a tally going for...
Carry on.
I have a tally going for how many microwaves we've broken in the studio, how many cotton candy machines we've gone through. I really need to set one up for our deep fryers because this might be our...
number 4 or 5.
5th? Yeah, I would say 5th at minimum.
Here's the basic idea. Once again, we've got a deep fryer, and someone gave us the idea to try deep frying a bunch of Bic pens. So we're gonna try that in a few different ways. I think we'll try just the ink cartridge, and the whole pen, with and without the cap. We'll see what they do when you heat them up in oil. So someone gave us the idea to try deep frying Bic pens, and I don't know what that's gonna do. We've done stuff with the ink from pens before.
You have.
I'm not entirely sure what all is in those. We looked up a bunch of the solvents that are in them. I don't think there's much water, but we don't know how they'll react exactly.
It's some sort of solvent that is suspending the ink pigment in place, and it dries when you write.
So I got a couple pens.
Oh gosh.
Like 100 of them.
Guys, I wasn't even on the channel. I wasn't even making videos with Nate when he first did the ink pen video, but I was his friend, so I came over at 10 o'clock at night with 4 or 5 other people, 3, 4 people. It was a big group of people, all of us sitting there emptying out ink until late.
Yeah. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take ink out of 1,000 pens today. We're probably going to take ink out of like 3 or 4 pens today. And I think that's where we're going to start, is just take out the ink cartridge and squeeze the ink just directly into the fryer and see what it does. All right, so this is already up to temperature. It's quite hot. I thought this was kind of funny. We've got like our cooking guide. We've got meat at 375 Fahrenheit, chicken at 365, fish at 375, fritters at 375, onion rings at 375. So basically everything's like around 375. Last time I had a perfectly sized metal rod that fit into the tube. I don't have that anymore. So what I have this time is a piece of wire with a little piece of electrical tape wrapped around it to get me close to the right size. And we're just gonna see what happens if I squeeze 1 pen worth of ink into the oil. You know, I was predicting sizzling. That didn't even sizzle. It just kind of dripped right down through to the bottom. Let's get one more drop there. There it goes, just bloop, goes right past. So far, that ink is doing nothing. Okay, I'm gonna take this wire, which is coated in the ink. I'm just gonna stick it in and see what happens to it. Oh, it's melting it right off. Look at that. So I took the wire coated in ink and I stuck it in, and you can watch it, it'll just drip right off the end. Watch this.
That's cool.
Clears it right off. All right, this way we should hopefully be able to see the ink as it bleeds out. The refractive index of the plastic is really, really similar to the oil once it like melts somewhat. So you can barely see the plastic under the oil. Like if I lift it out, you can see how much there is, and then it goes into the oil and it looks like it just disappears. I want to just take an entire tube and drop it in and watch. I'm guessing all of the ink is going to leak out and it's going to like shrivel up and turn clear, because that's what it was doing as I held it.
I like it. So Nate has just got the tube itself. I'm keeping the nib on mine. All bubbles coming up from mine, so it's definitely not a good seal. Oh my gosh, we made noodles.
They are getting kind of noodly.
Am I too noodly for the noodle? What the? Let's do it again!
Oh, yours just like squid inked out all.
It's
there
alive!
now mine's that one's
Yours
floating
is
up.
swimming. Yours is
How
swimming
it's floating,
around.
but it's floating.
Wait, it's like propelling itself with ink. We've made little living wormy inky dudes.
Let's see if this works. Got ink on our leaf here. Oh, there we go. Fly, little leaf,
yes!
fly. So the
ink-powered leaf.
When it hits the water, the surface tension changes dramatically. Well, it stops holding itself together and opens up. And as it opens up like that, the expansion just pushes it through the water. So this is actually something that's really easy to do. Just have a flat container of water, little bit. I have way more ink on that leaf than I need. Like 1 drop is enough. And you just set it in the water and it'll just zoom itself around all over the place.
That was
pretty fun,
flipping cool.
Very easy to do.
So I have 12 here, and I kind of want to see if they'll all sort of do that shrink around on each other like we saw with the 2, where Nate's was in there without a nib, mine had a nib. The nib made it easier to see the tube and where it was going. I actually don't want that. I just want to see what happens if I just put 12 in here all together, like a big bowl of sketty. Curl like a flower. It is curling like a flower. It very much looks alive. This is its fight or flight response. It looks neat, that's what it looks like. This is one of the things where I see it on camera and I know it looks the same, but I wish you could see it in person.
Well, I think next is a whole pen.
Just a whole pen.
With a whole pen, there will be a nib at the front and this end cap at the back. And there's a little hole in it, but I don't know how much that's gonna let air escape.
So we're gonna step back.
Yeah,
we don't know if it'll break and pop. It floats.
Oh, I think I already see some bubbles coming out of the little vent hole. Now it's wibbling and wobbling around.
Okay, the shape of the pen is just sad at this point. The nib, for some reason, compresses. Every time we've done this, it just shrinks to a little ball.
We're looking at any sort of popping or exploding.
No.
I think it just had that vent, and all of the sealed air was able to just escape out of that.
Okay, hang on, I want that. Oh, you killed it! You killed it!
Poured some of the ink out.
You killed it!
This is the whole body of the pen.
And the tube didn't shrink the same way.
It just like oozes itself out in the front. So this looks kind of like a slug puking up another slug. I want to do one with the lid. Let's take this.
That's what does the big cartridge
with nothing
shape.
in it and see what it does.
When it's still in the liquid, it does look like a cartridge of some kind.
Let's try a whole pen with the lid on.
And it folded in on itself. Good. Let's get you out, little buddy. Oh, and ink is coming out the top. It squished itself. And it's crested the way.
This other one, it's just pulled away from the lid.
Sure
like it
did.
managed to pull itself out and it's just shrinking the same way as before.
Yep. Yeah, this one cracked in half, emptied itself out, and then shrunk together. And this one, the tube itself actually broke.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, bubble.
Ballooning.
Wait, that bubble might pop. Don't think so, but just in case.
That's cool. It's like a bubble and the ink was like boiling inside it almost.
Yeah, I just, oh, there we go. Did it pop? Guys, you can in fact deep fry pens. And it's stupidly entertaining.
Time to fry all of them now?
Yeah, we're gonna fry all of them. I think that's it. I think that's all the reaction
little pen mess we got.
Well, okay, this is what I was curious about. The oil did change color. It's like a teal now.
Yeah, I was starting to see green and I wasn't sure if that was just reflecting the pens, but
the oil
I think the oil has actually turned
and
greenish.
That's melted plastic. I'm not breathing in right now. There we go. We'll let that just sort of chill. We made a thing. It looks like a bunch of little slugs decided that they wanted to be a big slug, so they Power Rangered together
the caps really kind of just turn liquid. Look at that, I've like scraped up melted pen cap.
It looks like it is sort of a liquid or a paste. Everything else is like, okay, that was probably plastic at one point. That one's like, is that melted gum?
To me, the strangest thing is that we actually managed to color the oil. The oil is now green from the blue ink mixed with the generally yellow color of the oil. So that, to me, is the most shocking. Pretty fun to see how the different plastics melt, squish together. The pen lids just kind of disintegrate. I don't plan to deep fry any more Bic pens.
I do.
Callie might. That's, you know, let her do her thing, I guess. Overall, though, that's pretty cool. Fun to see what happens to these things. Thanks again to our sponsor, Monster Legends. Click the link in the description to get playing for free today.
Guys, that's not all. You know, we've always got more for you to see. Hit that box up at the top for our most recent video, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then. Look at it.